You know, a milestone for every actor seems to be getting their Screen Actors Guild card, where they'll actually can get paid to work in union type shows. What job got you your SAG card?
Out for Justice with Steven Seagal.
Oh.
Yep, played a little hooker on that movie. But I actually couldn't afford my Screen Actors Guild card after I finished that film, because they really didn't pay me. And it wasn't until 2 months later I got a McDonald's commercial, and I had to pay, it was like $900 and something. So I went running, literally I went from I was living in New York City, went from the west side all the way down up the east side, banging on all my friends' doors for money so I could get my SAG card, because I couldn't shoot the commercial without my SAG card.
Okay. The actors that you've worked with, like George Clooney, Matthew McConaughey, I know for you it's another day at the office, but how impressed is your family at the people that you act with?
My family is so out of the loop that they didn't know who Matthew was when I told them I got the job. And not that they don't love his work now, that they know who he is, but and when I started ER, they started with me, you know, watching George Clooney, and George and I are like brother and sister, so it's not, it just seems normal. I mean, I've been kissing George for 4 years, and we finish each other's sentences, so it's almost like he's, you know, part of the family, and it just feels, in a strange way, very normal that it's happening. Because I don't see them as these, I know they're the sexiest men, whatever, in the world, but I work with them and they're my friends, so it's hard for me to separate that, you know?
I have one ER question to ask you.
Go ahead.
I always wondered, say you go to a doctor, you go to the hospital for a checkup, how quickly when you go through the door do people start making jokes? And have you ever gone through a checkup or anything without someone making a comment?
No, my doctor is actually hilarious about it. I come in and she'll be in the middle of an examination and go, okay, I didn't get the episode last night. What was happening? I mean, she's very aware that I know nothing about medicine and that she just wants to know what's happening between Ross and Hathaway, really.
And has anyone ever asked you for medical advice when you've been on the street at all or in a restaurant?
No, can't say that they have. But then again, I'm a nurse, not a doctor on the show, so maybe. Ask Noah Wiley, I'm sure. I'm sure they have. Amazing thing about it was I flew, all in all, it was 27 hours. And I couldn't believe I landed in Penang, and I got off the plane and I thought, I'm in a third world country. This is incredible. And then they drove me up to the hotel, and the first thing I saw was a Kentucky Fried Chicken. I was so depressed. It's not, and my mother had asked me to find her like veils and great, you know, sort of clothing, and all I could find was Wranglers, Pumas, and Levi's. So that was a little sad.
Yeah. The locations that you were shooting in this film, and the makeup, you know, the makeup's a little bit different on this one. How did the makeup room...
A little bit different?
Yeah, I
mean there isn't any?
There's a real awkward segue here. But how is the makeup department on this film different than the ER makeup department? What kind of little surprises did you find?
Oh, okay. Let me give you a typical day of me going to the makeup trailer on Paradise Road. Oh, Julianna, you look really awful. That's perfect. Okay, I'm just going to put on your tropical ulcer on your leg. Do you think it should drip today?
And so what were some like the really big surprises on location that you, things that really kind of shocked you that, that you took a little while to get used to?
Well, okay, the humidity, that took a little while. There was never a good hair day, which of course was perfect for the film. What kind of surprises? I don't know. Tea trolleys. Instead of having a craft service table, they would have tea trolleys on the set, which was like, you could have tea and biscuits, but there was like, in America when you're on a set, it's, you know, you go to the craft service table and there's a plethora of food to choose from. And in Australia, there's a tea trolley.
Well, that
was always fun.
Did you ever feel outnumbered being one of the, you know, I'm not sure how many Americans were on the crew, but not that many on the cast. Did you ever feel a little bit of a minority there on the...
Well, yes and no. I mean, one of my closest friends on the set is Jennifer Ely, and she's British, but we grew up completely opposite. She grew up in America, and I grew up in England. And then she went to England and I came to America. And she worked on an English accent, I worked on my American accent. So I kind of, it very, very much felt universal to me.